Hey guys, what's going on? Aaron here. Welcome to the video. So I want to touch on a couple things. First, Donald Trump launching World Liberty FI, taking a look at the top assets for 2024, and then taking a look at a couple charts just to keep perspective as we continue down 2024. And finishing off with some fear, uncertainty, and doubt FUD regarding, is Coinbase actually holding on to the ETF's Bitcoin? First, if you haven't heard this, let's go ahead and play this from a few days ago from Donald Trump's Twitter.
Join me live on Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. this September 16th for the launch of World Liberty Financial. We're embracing the future with crypto and leaving the slow and outdated big banks behind.
Okay, so a couple things to note. The first, Rug Radio. Not a good place to host your launch of, not quite sure what it is. I think it's going to be some trading platform, probably DeFi as well, of course. It's just kind of ironic. Hopefully there's no rugs on Rug Radio. And it's just an odd thing to do going into the election because Donald Trump already has the vote of people that are very crypto focused. He doesn't need to get more crypto people's votes because he's made that clear. And he and RFK Jr. are the candidates for crypto adoption globally. It's very, very clear about that. So why he's doing that right before the election, I'm not quite sure. Let me know what you think about it. Apparently it's happening today. I'll probably catch it. It's pretty big news, whether or not you hate Donald Trump or love Donald Trump or don't give a crap about Donald. Anyway, let's take a look at his Twitter for this thing. So beware of scams. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people saying, oh, claim your World Liberty tokens by connecting your wallet to this fake website. So obviously don't do stuff like that. So let's take a look here. Asset classes: Bitcoin, gold, US growth, US large caps, etc. And we have every single year what kind of return they did. So in 2024, the top two categories, Bitcoin being the top and then gold being the second. 43% for Bitcoin and 25% for gold. Right now, Bitcoin still has an annualized return of 143.9% since 2011. Let's go ahead and dive into a couple charts just to keep you guys in the loop of what's happening. So M2 money supply has gone up recently. You can see this is the red line. So on this chart, M2 money supply started the year at around $1.5 trillion, and now it's at $2.311 trillion. So historically, an increase in the M2 money supply correlates to an increasing valuation of stocks, US stocks, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. So most notably right here, 2020, we saw this massive, massive surge of M2 money supply, and that correlated with a surge in Bitcoin. And taking a look here, we can go to indices, and let's take a look at the S&P. So the S&P, the same thing. 2020, obviously the S&P rose a ton. And if you're unfamiliar with this site, this is Into the Cryptoverse. This is Ben Cowan's website. Link below if you'd like to get a membership. A lot of good charts here. And this is the M2 money supply versus the NASDAQ 100. So the NASDAQ 100 has done very, very well over the last couple years. And there, again, massive correlation, at least with 2020, 2021. We saw this insane surge and the NASDAQ went up accordingly. So let's take a look at the next chart really quick. This is Bitcoin ROI after the halving. So why is this important? Well, it's just to note where we are. Let's take out halving 1, and here we have the second halving and the third halving. So the green line is where we are now. We were well above halving 2, and we actually crossed the second halving earlier in the year as well. And now we are hovering below. So right now we are below where Bitcoin's price was on the halving at around 0.9x from the halving price. But taking a look right here, this is Bitcoin market cycle bottom ROI. So let's take out cycle 1 and cycle 2. These are the last two cycles, and then the magenta is where we are right now. And really what's important here is we are right in the middle of the other two cycles, the two previous cycles. So this is good to know because there's a lot of people on Twitter and people on YouTube that are just frustrated and tired with the current price action of Bitcoin, but a lot of people are tired of the current price action for altcoins as well if you're invested in altcoins. But just to note, again, We are literally right in the middle, and there is nothing unusual about where we are in terms of the ROI from the bottom of the last cycle. So this is good news if you are worried, because there's no reason, at least in my opinion, to be worried. So let's finish off the video talking about this. There has been some drama on Twitter, guys, and Twitter is full of people kind of stirring up drama here. And to summarize, because Coinbase is not showing the proof of reserves of all the Bitcoin that they are holding for different ETFs and different companies, because they are the custodian for the majority of the Bitcoin ETFs, because Coinbase isn't publicly disclosing the wallet addresses, people are pretty nervous. And I don't think it's really important to be nervous, but there are people saying that, oh my gosh, Coinbase does not actually have the Bitcoin that they say they have, and that they're issuing IOUs to BlackRock and all kinds of stuff like that. And at the end of the day, this is what Brian Armstrong said. So long story short, he said, all funds, all Bitcoin, are settled in our prime vaults, which are on chain. And if you want audits, Deloitte audits us annually, and we are a public company. And he says he's not going to share the public addresses because he says our institutional clients don't want people dusting all of their addresses. And he says that this is what it looks like if you want a bunch of institutional money to flow into Bitcoin. There can't be total transparency, basically, is what he's saying. So yes, Coinbase is a single point of failure if something were to happen. But I don't think anything is going to happen with Coinbase. But a lot of people are fearful when they just have to trust. Because of what happened in 2022 with all the bankruptcies, people don't want to trust anybody anymore, right? Now, what I will say is that if you have a large amount of your crypto on Coinbase or any centralized exchange, you should take it off. If you don't already have a hardware wallet, Tangem is one that I use. I also use Ledger and a few others as well. It's good to diversify. But if you don't have a hardware wallet, Tangem is super, super easy to set up. And I will include my link for that below as well. So that is it for the video, guys. Just some news to share with you about what's going on. Ultimately, not much is going on. This is a very boring time of the cycle. But like I shared with you, we are right in the middle of the ROI between 2 cycles ago and the last cycle regarding the bottom of the bear market to where we are now. So we are right in the middle of the last 2 cycles, and we know what happened to the price of Bitcoin, to the price of altcoins, and to the entire crypto market in the last 2 cycles. So I am personally not nervous or concerned about anything. I think this is just time to accumulate if you would like to accumulate, and I have a feeling that altcoins will see their time to shine in the end of this year and definitely into 2025. But if you don't want to touch altcoins, you don't need to. Obviously, do whatever you want. But altcoins have been severely underperforming. And with this increase in liquidity, I think altcoins are going to rip a lot next year. So I'll talk about that more in the future. But that is it for the video, guys. Hope you guys are well. Till next time, guys, talk with you soon, and bye for now.